It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live, or the Fox Local app. If you're watching on YouTube, we say hello, good afternoon to you, Braylon Edwards.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You see we're watching these Michigan hats, this Michigan Letterman, and also these dope hoodies that say on them, and I repeat, back to back to back. Big Ten football champions, that's right. Shout out to my man John Yu at Pro Sports Zone. You come through as always. Appreciate you. Ryan Ermanni, feeling very Michigan today.
Oh my gosh, Braylon Edwards comes in with gifts and walked in with this thing for me, and I just had to throw it on. I didn't care for what I was wearing today, just a little quarter zip shirt. No big deal. And took it off, put this on, and I'm ready to go.
These ran small. So usually 1X will be all of us. They ran small. So the 2Xs is what these are. The last two 2Xs. So Maz, yours is coming.
All right,
I was going rock, paper, scissors. Pause.
I'm happy you gave it to
Ryan.
Ryan.
I was like, hold on. I think Maz got a helmet recently. So I was like, I give it to Maz. I give it to Ryan.
I'm waiting for my Braylon jersey anyway.
You want
got
the Braylon
one
jersey? You got one.
No, I need my Michigan Braylon jersey.
Oh, I got that one.
I need my Michigan Braylon jersey.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got a Michigan. You got a Jets.
Ah, that's right.
You got a Jets. I got the Michigan.
Ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, don't worry.
Absolutely.
Hey, you speaking into the atmosphere. It shall appear.
I know it will.
Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, buddy.
Hey, guys. Good to have you here. Wednesday, middle of the week. This week is kind of dragging a little.
It's a weird week.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I'm feeling like it's a little dragging. Are you feeling dragging? You feeling all right?
I'm feeling good.
Okay. Maybe I'm down. Maybe I'm down because my team is all beat up.
3 days, 3 workouts. I'm feeling good, man. I'm especially feeling good. JB's back.
Oh, yeah. JB's
Where you
back
been
over there. What's up,
JB?
JB?
Nothing. I've just been working. That's all.
You've been hiding, man. You cheating on us?
No, never.
What's
Come
her
on
name?
Now. Come on now.
Cheating on us, man. Don't make me find my iPhone on you.
We got JB back. Pete Spivak is with us over there. Pete,
Gentlemen,
hello.
how are you, boys?
Pete Spivak. Go blue. Pete Spivak. Big show for you today, guys. Jennifer Hammond is going to be with us. Hour number 2. She'll be here in 1 hour from now. Intern Alex for our Wolverine Wednesday segment, brought to you by our friends at Skinny Butcher. Before we get started with the NFL and the big Lions news that happened yesterday, can I just make one observation?
Talk to me.
Sports leagues are going to lose fans because of the streaming. Last night, the Red Wings were on ESPN+. Michigan and Michigan State were on Peacock. First, it took me probably 2 or 3 minutes to realize they were on Peacock. I looked, and I knew the games were on, and I knew it was kind of a back-to-back. So I went to Fox Sports 1, then I went to ESPN, then I went to ESPN 2, then I went to Big Ten Network, and then I did it into my Comcast voice-controlled remote, and I said Michigan State game, and then it says Internet. And I was like, wow. Oh, this is a freaking Peacock game. So then I went in the Peacock. I'm watching. Look, I do not watch college basketball. Maybe in March I'll start watching it if you give me something interested
to root for.
Root for. I watch it, kept hicking up. It would be like, it would play, and then there'd be like this 2 seconds of black, and then it would come back and play almost a little bit of a reverse, like 2 seconds before where it went black. And
so now you're behind on the game.
So now I'm behind on the game, and now it was like,
now you're zoned out. Now you're done.
Now I'm just out.
Yep.
Then I try to exit. Then I go to the Red Wings game. Because I saw the ESPN score, it said ESPN Plus, but who cares, right? It's got to be on Bally Sports Detroit.
Of course.
Let the rest of the country see ESPN Plus.
This is true.
Got to be on Bally Sports Detroit. Bally Sports Detroit had some friggin' volleyball on or something like that, so I'm like, oh my God.
You don't like UD Mercy versus Kent State?
No. So I go into the ESPN Plus, and then I had to get my phone out to activate my TV. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Activate this TV. Okay, good. Activated. Okay.
Buffering.
And then it's like intermission. There was like 3 minutes left in the period.
That's it.
You've been
Then
trying
it's
to watch the game for 2 quarters.
Then it's intermission. I never went back to it. Totally forgot about it. Never went to the Michigan game at all. Didn't even look at it for 1 second. I'm out. Unless it's the NFL. Really. Unless it's the NFL or if there's some major event. But some random Tuesday night game at Chrysler or in Buffalo or at Michigan, no thank you. I'll find something else to do. And there was a Home Alone marathon on, fine.
Hey, I'm sold. It's the holiday season. Sell me on that. That sucks. And 100%, like you said, especially like college basketball. College basketball is one that they
a miserable night,
that they lease out. And it's like, you know what? I don't have time for this anymore. You're gonna lose followers, as you said. You know who might gain followers though, Maz? What do you think of this NBA in-season tournament?
Well, I just found out how it works.
It's
down to the Final Four now, I understand.
It is.
Okay, so I guess, it's down to the Final Four.
But it's been some enthusiasm. I mean, you got some guys that are playing to the whistle. You know, you don't get that type of play early on in the season. I know, Ryan, you're not watching the NBA right now, and I'm not watching usually to around probably All-Star.
I actually landed on that. Do you know why?
Because you have
it was on.
It was on TNT.
Yes, it was on.
the other options.
Yeah.
It was on TNT, so I watched
Cable
that for
wins.
a couple minutes.
Cable wins.
I mean, you had 2 good games last night. You see guys going down to the wire. Dame Lillard turning on is what you want to see, him going to the Bucks. And then last night, LeBron got another one of those LeBron calls. Maz, did you see the call?
I didn't see it, but I heard it was a controversial ending against Phoenix.
So Austin Reeves and
Grayson Allen?
Austin Reeves, Grayson Allen, and somebody else are fighting for the
I was
ball.
just naming every white guy on the floor.
Nurkic is Nurkic a part of? No, but it was Austin Reeves. He hit a 3 the play before. They come down, they get a steal. Trying to get the ball, and somehow the ball gets tipped by one of the Clippers players. By one of the Suns players, goes out of bounds almost. The ball was actually got by Devin Booker, got by the Suns. They called timeout. LeBron called timeout. They didn't even have possession of the ball. The ball was rolling towards the baseline, and they called timeout. I mean, look, Jordan got a lot of calls, so I understand that. But, God, like, it was...
You don't got to tell me.
But the thing about it that made me intrigued, the reason why I bring it up, I actually cared. The NBA did what they were supposed to do with this in-game tournament. I'm actually watching like, no, that's a bad call. The fact that I'm yelling that's a bad call, December 5th or December 6th,
right.
It means the NBA, in my estimation, this in-season tournament is pretty good. They got the right 4 teams, too.
Well, I heard LeBron talking about this and say, look, you've got a bunch of alpha males out here. You put something on the line, we're going to want to win it.
Yeah.
And good for the NBA to drum up some sort of excitement in their regular season prior to Christmas Day, by the way, because so many people believe that the NBA though starts on Christmas Day.
True.
Right? The NBA, because what happens in the first part of December and obviously in November, nobody's really paying attention to because of all of the baseball playoffs and all of the NFL and college that's going on. But once November 20 or December 25th hits, the NBA usually takes center stage.
Unless
and
the NFL's playing.
Unless the NFL's playing. But now with this in-season tournament, it does give the guys something to play for.
Mazin, that was my question to you. Is part of this on the NBA's behalf? Is it because of now on Christmas? You got 2 NFL games on Christmas now. It's 2 NFL games. The NBA games are even earlier, or is it the NFL's early, and by the time the NBA games are played, you're like, I've gotten enough of the NFL already.
I'm telling you, the NBA on Christmas Day, if the NFL's playing, you're getting minimal people watching the NBA.
Yeah.
Minimal
Agreed.
people watching the NBA. On Thursday nights for Amazon, by the time I'm done bowling, I come home, it's almost the second half, right? First thing I do is I walk in the door, I grab the remote. I put on the TV and I say Amazon. And then I'm like you, right? I got to wait. When my jacket's still on.
Right.
Wait. I got to go to the bathroom. Wait. Finally, Amazon pops up. Who's watching? Dad. Pop Dad up.
Who's watching?
Wait. Oh, there's the NFL game.
Then
Hit
there's
play.
an ad.
Hit NFL game. Play. Wait. You want to start at the beginning of the game,
Do you wanna-
or do you want to take it live now?
Watch live.
Watch live! Then I rip my coat off. It's still waiting. I go to the bathroom. By the time I come back,
Game's
it's
over.
on.
It's so
I
true,
hate it.
man.
I hate it.
It is so true.
I'm just laughing at Matt. He said, wait. Do you want to watch live or do you want to watch
Honestly.
from the start? They do ask all those questions. Like, they should know, like, look, man, just turn the game on.
Streaming is bad.
As soon as I hit Prime, like, if I'm turning on Prime at 8 o'clock on a Thursday, I am turning it on to watch football.
Correct.
As soon as I hit Prime, it should go to the game.
Don't they
need
know
all
what
the
I
other
watch?
questions.
Don't they know?
Exactly.
Right.
Like,
they should know you. They know everything
They
about
track
you.
everything else.
Yes. You know
Like,
me. Put
don't
the
act like
game
you
on.
don't know me now.
I'm just curious to see how this thing plays out over time.
Yeah.
Because look, I know I'm not saying I'm a dinosaur, but I know things change. I know they do. But at some point, I would think for sports fans,
Some
they just
complaint.
give up.
Yeah.
They just give up. They're not going to watch. And look, this is not the NFL. Your league is not the NFL. The NBA, I don't see them on streaming. That would maybe be the second most popular television
NBA
sport over baseball and hockey and college basketball and all this stuff. I think at some point sports fans just say no, though. I'm not doing that. And I wonder at that point how the sports leagues themselves move forward. Do they go back to cable, or do they just continue on with this streaming thing? Because obviously streaming is the way of the future. We get it. That's what we do. We stream every day. But I feel like it's a little bit different from when you're trying to flip back and forth between games or anything like that. In an NFL game, you know, chances are if you're watching an NFL game on streaming, Braylon, that's the only game that's on at that particular time. You're not watching a Thursday night game on Amazon and then you have a Thursday night game on Fox and a Thursday night game on CBS. So you're not flipping out of that game as frequently as you might be doing to a basketball game or a baseball game, and there's a million going on at that time.
I don't think it ever goes backwards. I don't think, and trust me, I wish it would stay at some point just a little more consistent, a little easy to access, but I don't see it going backwards. Technology moves forward, streaming moves forward, all these tech giants want to move forward. It's going to get to the point, Ryan, where you're going to have to get a VR headset and you're going to have to watch these games in the metaverse. You're going to have to put your helmet on, jump in the metaverse, and then you can pick whatever game you want to. Oh, Michigan's playing. Let me drive up to Chrysler and go to this game.
That's cute.
It's going to make it like it's an experience. You turn it on, I promise you, man. Clip this. It's going to be like a metaverse experience. You put the helmet on, and you can go to whatever game is going to be on at that time. You walk to the stadium, but you feel like you're really doing it. That's where we're headed. It's not going back for us, baby boomers, sons and daughters. It's going even further to the point where our kids are going to be like, Dad, you want to go watch the Michigan game? Come on, let me show you how to do it. That's where we're going. I promise you
Last
that.
night, I'm not watching college basketball. I'm just not. So I'm flipping channels, basketball game, hockey game. Finally, I'm like, 181, NFL Network. And
What's the replay?
San Francisco and Philly. Boom, I'm watching it. That's what I do.
Right. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Guys, good show for you today. We've got Jennifer Hammond coming in studio with us.
Ooh.
Top of hour number 2. She'll be here probably for the whole hour I know Hammer. We'll talk to Intern Alex as well. Wolverine Wednesdays here.
Tell her
brought
I take
to
the
you
market
by
after.
our friends at Skinny Butcher. Lots of NFL to get to as well. Our lead story today, guys, got to be Aleem McNeil. Where does this team go from here? He is out on IR. How long will he be out? Dan Campbell tells us. All that and more. But first, a message from Dispo.
That's right. Dispo Romeo now open till midnight. Michigan's largest cannabis mall. 21 and up is how old you have to be. Recreational only, but outside of that, they have everything that you may want. Whether it's flour, whether it's oil, they got the best ways to consume your cannabis product. You see the Michigan I'm wearing, they even have Dispo in Ann Arbor too. I mean two, by the way. But this is Dispo Romeo open till midnight. Why don't you let them be your local plug?
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Winter is here, and if you're dreaming of a new home but feeling the pinch, we've got some fantastic news for you. Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Here's the deal. When you work with a Mark White and Associates realtor, they'll pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. Buying a home just got a whole lot easier. Imagine having an extra $5,000 in your pocket this winter. With years of experience and commitment to making your dreams a reality, Mark White and Associates are your go-to team for all things real estate. This incredible opportunity won't last forever. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 and let them make your winter home buying dreams come true. Visit their website, markwhitesells.com, or call them at 248-290-8242 to hear the full terms of this offer and begin your home search today.
You know, let me say this: losing Mac for these 4 weeks is going to be tough, because he's been a reliable, steady, productive player for us, and he's really come into his own this year. I mean, he's just grown every year, but this year he was big. He was a force for us, guys got a lot of respect for him. So that hurts. But at the same token, man, this train moves on, and that's the nature of the game we play in. And we've dealt with it all year. We've dealt with it 3 years. Every team goes through it, and so it's next man up.
Next man up, that's Dan Campbell talking about the loss of Aleem McNeil. Now, he goes on IR. I believe it's a knee injury, and he'll be out for 4 weeks. He is expected to come back, and that part is huge. But he is their best and most reliable interior defensive lineman. It is something that stings. It is something that this defense could ill afford to lose that guy. I think if you rank defensive players that you could probably lose, probably not lose, you'd go Aiden, Aleem, Cam Sutton, probably in that order, and Anzalone. But you've got Jack Campbell there. You'd hope, and Derek Barnes played a pretty decent game as well. But this is something that really hurts this defense, Bray.
First of all the guys that we named, I'm going to knock on wood one time, make sure these guys don't get injured. And we did lose Anzalone and still won that game. The thing about Aleem McNeil is this. Aleem McNeil, for an interior defensive lineman, he has 5 sacks.
5.5.
He has 5. I think he's 5. Okay. He has 5.
No, 5. You're right.
He has 5 sacks. And I was actually getting to who does have 5.5. He has 5 sacks. He's an interior defensive line on a defensive line that can't get to the quarterback, and he's helped stop the run. He is a valuable part of what they do. To say next man up, and I understand it. Dan Campbell was supposed to say next man up. Technically, it is next man up. This is a huge loss for the Detroit Lions, and I really want to see how Aaron Glenn is going to respond, how that defensive line, how they're going to move things around, because he has just as many sacks as Aiden Hutchinson, your second-round overall pick a year ago. Your guy that everybody said this is the next future MVP at some point. He's got the same amount of sacks as him. He's creating the same amount of havoc as him. He's got 9, I want to say, what is that I wrote down? 9 QB hits to go along with those 5 sacks. So losing a guy in Aleem McNeil right now, where you're in that playoff run, trying to position yourself second, trying to get ready for that January run, this is a huge blow for the Detroit Lions, and I'm telling you, this is going to be a tough one to respond from. This will be a tough one to bounce back from.
He is a top 5 guy in the league.
Exactly.
In the league.
This isn't a small deal.
No. Here's the thing with this.
Yeah.
What did I tell you guys last week? 5 games left. You got 3 in division.
Yep.
Win your division games. Go 3-2. Get to the playoffs. Get healthy by the end of this year. We hope to have CJ back. We hope to have Aleem McNeil back. We hope to have James Houston back. You get those 3 guys back, your defense is automatically that much better. Josh Paschal maybe rounding into form. Looks like Broderick Martin, 3rd-round pick. It's
Next man up.
It doesn't look like he's the guy.
Yeah.
Your guy, Isaiah Buggs, doesn't look like it's his year. John Kaminsky took a step back this year. You got guys off the PUP list, off the practice squad playing. They're playing okay. Who's that guy, Bahana?
Yeah.
He's playing pretty good. So they got guys plugged in. Listen, just get through these next 5 weeks.
Bohanna.
Yeah, Quentin Bohanna. Go 3-2 these next 5 weeks. And I'm happy. I am happy with 12-5 and winning the division and probably getting the 3 seed. And I'll be okay with that. Get healthy for the playoffs, because you're going to have to outscore everybody anyway.
Man, spoken like a true person that knows the game, a true person that knows what it's going to take down the line when you get into January and how things are going to shape up when you have to play against the Eagles, when you have to play against the Cowboys, when you have to play against the 49ers. Insert team here. Get healthy. You got a schedule set up for you where you guys are the best team, in my estimation, with the exception of one game. You guys are the best team in this division. Maz is right. Win the division, you get guys healthy, and you get them back for the playoffs. You're better than the Vikings. You're better than the Bears. You should win those 3 you should win those 3 divisional games. Get 3-2. That puts you at 12-5.
That's
that puts
great.
you at that's a hell of a season. Most people, the over was what, 10 or 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5.
You got 12 wins. You've done something you haven't done in a very long time. You win your division. You guarantee yourself a home playoff game, and you see what happens from there. Maz, spoken like the guy that knows the game.
Thanks, man. Because I really believe you're going to have to outscore people anyway.
Well,
this defense is not good anyway. Get those guys back at the end of the year and be a little better.
The one bright spot there, the one glass half full is you did see Bruce Irvin have 3 dominant plays in that game. That's good to know. And also, when Aiden came out of the game, Romeo Okwara got to the quarterback in a major time. So it was good to see Okwara and Bruce Irvin have that.
Maybe Alua is going to be good.
Well, that's exactly where I'm going with it, Maz, too, because now you put the onus squarely on the offense.
Yep.
Right? And I think you had to do that anyway, whether
Correct.
Aleem McNeil plays or doesn't play. This defense is like a sieve. I mean, it just doesn't stop much anybody. And this offense is how they're going to win games. This offense is how they're going to win the division championship. And this offense is, heaven forbid, how they're going to win a playoff game. They simply have to get healthy offensively, score a lot of points. They got to score in the 30s every week if they want to win. And that's how they're going to win a playoff game, too.
Yeah, and they're set up for that. I mean, you look at this offense and what this offense has been able to do when healthy, and that's another thing. You talk about getting healthy. That's what Maz is talking about. Getting the offensive line healthy is the next thing that the Detroit Lions have to do. When they are healthy at that offensive line, you see David Montgomery running at 6 yards a clip on first down, 5.5, I believe, is what they averaged early on in the season. Jameer Gibbs was able to get out in the open and actually run between the tackles. Sam Laporta, you saw him even when they really couldn't get things going. They had a guy in Sam Laporta. Just imagine when they can get it going. You see Jamison Williams. That's the good thing about the offense is now you're seeing all the playmakers that Ben Johnson has at his disposal. I guarantee he's going to put these guys in good situations to have success moving forward. Because, I mean, that first quarter, like I know it's over with, but just going back to the first quarter against the Saints and you saw how that thing looked, that's the Detroit Lions offense that people are scared of. That's the Detroit Lions identity that people actually understand. They said this is what the Lions have looked like for the better part of the last 17 games in the NFL. They got to get back to that because that first quarter, they can go up against anybody in the NFC with that, with the way they operated in that first quarter.
Unless they're completely healthy, this team, they can't win a Super Bowl against teams like Philly and Dallas and San Francisco, Kansas City on the other side.
And that's most teams.
Yeah, you can't win with this team the way it is now. You can win a playoff game if you get the right atmosphere, if you get home, but they're not winning a Super Bowl like they are now. They're just not, guys. And I'm not doom and gloom. I'm just being honest. In the beginning of the year, middle of the year, I'm all in. But that Seattle game, when you lost 8 players in that game, 8 players, it started there, and they have not been healthy all year. The offensive line's been together for 1 game out of all these games.
And it won't be together again this week either.
Ragnow's down. You don't know how long he's out. They just have to hold serve, get healthy, get those players back. It's too bad Mosley don't have a chance to come back this year. But get the players you can back, and then that's the team that can run with anybody. And you're just going to have to outscore them, man.
This is the good thing about it, though, Maz. Like, as we sit here and we're talking about the rest of the schedule, last 5 games of the season, we're also talking about them losing players and how they They're 9-3.
Yeah.
I see. This is the thing that I think we got to start focusing on a little more, and I'm gonna tell you why. They're 9-3. You got guys that have never been 9-3 in this locker room. You got guys that understand what they're playing for now. You got guys, they don't see it like us. They don't see it as they see that this could be a Super Bowl year. So I think the other side of it is how guys operate in this space. Like I remember being 9-3 and with the Jets and actually with the 49ers, and I remember having a couple losing those games and losing some players, and you're like, man, are we the same team? And then you have someone remind you, no, we're 9-3. We're 9-3 in the NFL with 5 games left and winnable games coming up. It doesn't matter who's going to be in there. We got to find a way to make a play. You got to find a way to do your job to the best of your ability. When you're looking at 9-3, now it's different. If you got a bunch of guys injured and you're the Panthers, or you got a bunch of guys injured and you're the Jets, you're looking at it very differently. I'm trying to get to the end of the season. I'm trying to get out of here, blah, blah, blah. But when you're playing for not just the playoffs, but a potential number 2 seed, when you're playing for that, I think it's going to give guys a little extra motivation in practice. I think it'll give guys a little extra motivation when they're looking at those playbooks and getting ready on Sunday. Because I know with 9-3, I'm going to do my job.
If there's one side of the ball that can accept all the pressure, though, and assume all the pressure, we've seen them do it before. It is the offense. This offense is equipped to handle any situation. Do you need to kill 8 minutes at the end of the game by running the football?
Check.
They can do it. Are you down by 14 with 5 minutes to go?
Check.
They can do it. Do you need to go middle 8, last 4 minutes of the first half and the first possession in the second half?
Check.
They can do it. This offense can win any way you want it to win, and I think they feed off the pressure, and now they have all of it. This defense just needs to be bearable, and no pun intended, they're playing the Bears this week, but this offense, the one thing this offense can no longer do, you have zero margin for error when it comes to turnovers. If you turn the ball over, chances are, let me say it this way. If you lose the turnover battle, chances are you will lose that football game, because now where this team is, they can't afford to give up possessions to their opponent because the defense is just a little bit weaker than they were a week ago.
I'm from the old school era. When I played in the era of Maz. If you turn the ball over, your ass is sitting down.
Yep.
Like if even the quarterback. Hey, you can have a star quarterback. If your star quarterback 3 interceptions and it's looking like you got a game that's winnable, that guy might get benched to the end of that game. So I'm definitely from this, with the exception of Jared Goff. You don't want him throwing any more picks. You talked about the conversation that Dan Miller said he would have with him, basically saying, hey, look, remember that Jared Goff from last year, last 10 games? That's who we need right now. So outside of Jared Goff, you David Montgomery, you fumble the ball. Hey, look, I have to take a couple plays without you, or a couple segments. Not segments, that's what we do, but a couple series without you. You Josh Reynolds, you drop a pass. Hey, look, Josh, I got to go in a different direction. This is crunch time. You can't report. You can't. The word I'm looking for. You can't allow kids to fumble, to drop passes repeatedly, and you not do something about it. This is crunch time, man. You got to take care of the football.
Alex Anzalone back at practice today, running around with the linebackers, doing some drills. That's good news. That could be one guy that could come back. I don't want him to come back too early. Just take it easy, man, and get back when you can.
He got some of that good mead from Asgard. You know, they drink a different beer on Asgard.
Dan Cable did say they may get him back this week.
Yeah.
Frank Ragnow, not so much.
Right.
So
count him out.
Just some of the injuries that they're dealing with there.
Do you want Alexander's only back this week, Ryan?
If he's healthy, sure. I mean, I'm not going to keep him out if he's not healthy.
Put a club on his arm.
Put it to you this way: if he's 75% this week versus 85% next week.
How many games you played 75%?
A lot.
Yeah, play.
Say less. Say less. I agree.
Guys, we are going to state your case.
State your case.
We're going to state your case next. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yes, Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone. No, what?
No judgments.
Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this just for $10 a
Only
month.
$10?
With no commitment. Yes, just $10. And remember, no matter where you are, there's also a Planet Fitness nearby and close by to you, with more than 50 convenient locations in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Visit your local Planet Fitness today to join, or check them out online today at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey, when it comes to your pet, do not settle. You give your pet the best. That's why Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Of course they are. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations and over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Curbside delivery if you need it. They got it all for you. Do not settle for less. Give your pet the best. Check them out at premierpetsupply.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Maswell. We got JB back. We got Pete Spivak in the TD booth.
JB, man, have you purchased that timeshare that you use every time you go to Jamaica?
I have no
I'm just
idea
saying,
what you're talking
every time
about.
you disappear, I know you on Ochos Rios, man.
I wish.
One day you're gonna have to take me with you.
Yeah, one of these days.
I'm gonna take off too.
It's great stuff. All right, Bray, explain for the people what we got here coming up with State Your Case.
I see a lot of topics in the NFL as well as college football where can you make an argument for something to be true? And a lot of people say things and you're like, that's not true. But if you listen to them, they may persuade you if they make a compelling argument or by stating their case. So I will let you gentlemen sway the people on certain topics. And I can jump in if you want me to as well.
Yeah.
You already picked one that you thought was good, so we'll work from this one. We'll go from the Tyreek Hill one, if you will, Pete Spivak. The Tyreek Hill, state your case on this one. Tyreek Hill should be over Tua for the MVP.
There's no question about the fact that Tyreek Hill should be the MVP of the league over Tua Tagovailoa or anybody else for that matter. You're talking about nearly 1,500 yards after 12 games. He will go over 2,000 yards receiving in the wide receiver position this year. We have seen that one other time.
Never done.
Yeah, 19. What did Calvin have? 1960 or 1980 or something like that. We have never seen a wide receiver do that before. 2,000 yards, Tyreek Hill, MVP.
What do you think about that, Tom?
I can't disagree with him. And the guy is a stud. He is the reason Miami is why they are. Him and Mike McDaniels together. He's one of the best receivers in the game, if not, well, I won't say he's the best, but he's sure looking like it this year. And you can see Kansas City, what they look like without him. Tyreek Hill right now, for sure, over Tua.
Ryan Ermanni, if I'm the judge on that one, I would say you persuaded me with your case statement there.
Baby,
and the biggest thing that you said right there, he will go over 2,000 yards. It has never been done before.
Period.
If something's never been done, you got to reward it with MVP. All right, Maz, you state your case to me as to why Sam Laporta should be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, man.
Over C.J. Gardner.
I know.
C.J. Stroud.
Oh, man. Sam Laporta, first of all, we think he's a top 3 tight end in this game, including all the veterans out there. George Kittle, Mark Andrews, What's his name?
T.J. Hawkinson.
Hawkinson, of course, Kansas City's.
There you go. Kansas City, Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. He is up there with those bad boys. And this guy is a rookie tight end. The guy don't drop passes. You throw it to him, he gets open. You want him to block, he blocks. He has become the number one receiver for the Lions, for Jared Goff. He looks for him. It was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, now they're starting to double cover Amon-Ra St. Brown. So who's he going to? He's going to Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta.
Rookie of the year? Why not?
Also, I think he's second in yards. I think he's first in touchdowns. What do you think about that, Ryan?
There's no tight ends in the league that have more touchdowns than Sam Laporta. And if this was Travis Kelce having numbers like this, he would be in the MVP conversation, not in the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation. So this guy's putting up MVP type numbers if his name was Travis Kelce. So based on that narrative alone, I'm going yes.
All right. You guys almost got me there.
Almost.
Pause. I'm almost. You know, I'm gonna have to.
I don't even believe myself. Actually.
No, I know. I don't
I
either.
don't believe myself.
And that's just the fun of it. We'll stay with C.J. Stroud.
Unless C.J.
Stroud
wins MVP, then
C.J.
maybe
Stroud's a lock.
All right, get the next one up there, if you will. Ryan Ermanni, state the case that Dan Campbell should be coach of the year.
So first and foremost, let me just say that I believe DeMeco Ryans could be the first part of the year, the coach of the year. But there is no coach in the NFL that is as intense and who has a better relationship with his players than Dan Campbell. Also, Dan Campbell has won 17 of the last 22 games he's coached in. 17-5 are the Detroit Lions dating back to last season. And that is winning unlike we have ever seen here in the city of Detroit.
4-1 on prime time. I want to say he's 4-1 on prime time too. That's a hell of a case. This is a case in which I love DeMeco Ryans and what he's doing. Obviously Mike McDaniel, what they're doing down there. But I think when you tally up the 8-2 in the last 10 games in this year, I like the case. And I think Dan Campbell could be and should be maybe coach of the year.
Dan Campbell's my coach of the decade.
I love it.
Because he pulled the Lions out of the
sewer.
abyss.
Out of the sewer, if you will. Let's go to Brock Purdy on this one, if you will, Pete. Maz, Brock Purdy. A lot of people saying, it's the people around him, it's the players around him, it's Debo, it's Christian McCaffrey, it's Brandon Ayuk, it's George Kittle, it's Trent Williams. Well, a lot of other MVP quarterbacks had a lot of all-stars around them. So make the case that Brock Purdy is deserving to be a legit top MVP candidate.
You ready? I'm going to make this short and sweet.
There it is.
He leads in every passing category. Brock Purdy leads the best team in football. Brock Purdy just went out and laid one on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly.
One.
And Brock Purdy would have been a Super Bowl MVP possibility had he stayed healthy and gotten his team into that Super Bowl last year. I believe they were going to the Super Bowl last year, and of course they fall short without him. Brock Purdy, to me, is the MVP of this league.
He's first in completion percentage. He's fifth in touchdowns. He's seventh in yards. He's leading the most dynamic offense in the NFL. I know Miami would like something to say about that, but this freight train of the San Francisco 49ers is unstoppable. Usually, many times, the quarterback on the best team gets the MVP award. Brock Purdy is the quarterback on the league's best team.
Before you go to Braylon, Pete, put up my Brock Purdy from around the NFL. And put up his stats from there. And I want Ryan to read those stats.
First in passer rating, first in completion percentage, first in touchdowns per attempt, first in yards per attempt, and yards per completion. So those
Looks
are
pretty good to
some
me.
of the biggest numbers. Yeah, but, yards per game, I'm just giving you yards per game.
You don't need. You got Christian McCaffrey running.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, good.
I don't want you to downplay Brock Purdy.
I don't want to.
Saying he's fourth and seventh.
I just told him what he was.
All right.
I love you guys' case. I love the presentation. I love the discovery. Now, one question I ask as the judge, and this is a question that comes up quite frequently. By Brock Purdy not being the best player on his team, not even on his side of the ball, does that hurt him in your estimation time as well?
No. Not at all. No, because he is the guy he's the straw that stirs the drink. When he is out, they are not the same team. I know they did lose. They had a 3-game losing streak. And yes, Deebo Samuel was out. McCaffrey was hurt a little. Trent Williams was hurt a little. I get all of that. Yeah, that all adds in. But without this guy, they are not the same team. This guy saved them from the biggest embarrassment in probably that franchise's history when they traded 3 number 1s to trade up to get Trey Lance.
And not only that, I mean, just go look to your former team that has some great skill position players and look at the year they're having without a quarterback. You could be Deebo Samuel could be as good as he wants to be. If he doesn't have anybody to get him to the ball, he's Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
He's having the year Garrett Wilson's having it. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't have Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey losing 12 games a year with the Carolina Panthers.
Or like Breece Hall is doing with New York.
You need to have the guy under center, or now 3 yards back of center.
You know what he is now? He's Mr. Relevant. He's not Mr. Irrelevant anymore.
You guys sold me on this one. I think you had me at hello on this one. I mean, we gave Tom Brady a lot of credit over the years. Eventually, we saw it was his doing, but we tried to blame a lot of that on the system. I think Brock Purdy has changed Kyle Shanahan's system. He's allowed him to do some more open things. He throws the ball down the field. Hell, Jimmy G never had this type of success with pretty much the same team. So you got me on that one, man.
Right.
And Ryan Ermanni, you have sold me on that one. Maz, this is going to be a fun one.
Let's go.
Actually, you know what, Ryan? This is on you.
Uh-oh.
This is one for you. It fits the shirt. You ready for this one? State the case on why Michigan is better than Alabama.
Yes.
So you got to state the case.
That is the case.
Okay.
They're better defensively. They have, believe it or not, they have a better offensive skill players than Alabama has.
Yeah.
They're more reliable pass catchers. Their run game is as efficient as any in the country, and their defensive line is a beast. Up front, every aspect of the game, Alabama is less than when it comes to Michigan.
Ooh-wee. All right, now some non-Michigan bias. Tom Mazaway, do you agree with that sentiment from your buddy Ryan Ermanni?
I just want to say that Michigan is my favorite team.
Oh, stop.
Compliment sandwich coming.
Oh, stop.
That's it. That's all I got.
have?
No, they're not better than Alabama.
Okay.
They're not.
Let me ask you a question, Maz. And this
Will they win still? Yes, they will.
But let me just ask you this question. Why is Alabama better than Michigan? Or why don't you think they're better than Michigan? Hold on before you finish.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Auburn game? Did you watch the Arkansas game?
I watched the Auburn game.
Did you watch when Alabama
Auburn
got moved
sucks, too.
to 13th
I know they
in
do.
the country?
Remember, I was trying to vote Alabama out earlier in the week?
Yeah.
You talked me out of that.
Yeah, because you can't.
Okay.
Okay, so Alabama, why are they better than Michigan?
Because they still play in the way better conference. And I realize there's some bad teams in the SEC, but I would take Auburn over Indiana. I would take Auburn over 3/4 of the Big Ten West. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's better competition. And you know what? Their coach and our coach, they're head and head. Nick Saban's got the lead, obviously. He's a champion.
By a large margin.
Yeah, well, Jim Harbaugh's trying to catch up to him.
You gotta win a ring first.
Alabama's
He's got 7.
Alabama's got a big lead on them.
All right,
I got nothing.
This is what I say about it, and it's up to the interpretation of the people. It's up to the interpretation of anybody else, but I think Michigan's a better team. Like Ryan Ermanni said, the run game on Michigan. Skill positions on our side, although I do like the wide receiver number 3, he is definitely a stud. I think Jalen Milroe's still improving. I want to see him have to do that against a defense like Michigan. So I think it's gonna lock up for a good game. I think Michigan is the better team overall because I don't think anybody started thinking about Alabama to recently last couple weeks.
Alabama.
But I could be Michigan biased. It has been said before. All right, here we go. Maz, we got 2 more. I come to you for this one. Eagles are still the team to beat in the NFL. Make it make sense. State your case.
Yes, Eagles are still the team to beat in the NFL, especially in the NFC. It's going to come down to the Eagles and the 49ers. That's my NFC Championship game. Big whoops, but I did say it at the beginning of the year.
You did.
And I'm sticking with it. Philadelphia, they need Jalen Hurts to be healthy. Right now, Jalen Hurts is not healthy.
Right.
Almost went into concussion protocol last weekend.
Fully
at the end
healthy
of that
Jalen
game.
Hurts.
Pardon?
Fully healthy Jalen Hurts.
Fully hurt. Yeah, they can play with anybody.
Okay.
A fully healthy Jalen Hurts can play with anybody. They don't have the running game that the San Francisco 49ers have. As good as DeAndre Swift was in the beginning of the year, he's kind of tailed off at the end of this year. You know, I was one of the big guys
Shocking.
that say, hey, DeAndre Swift should still be a Lion. He should still be a Lion. He's had some big games with Philly, but he's kind of disappeared here in the last half of the season. That said, Philadelphia, still a great offensive line, still a great pass rush. They got Brandon Graham playing his ass off right now.
Yeah.
And they got a hell of a coach in Nick Sirianni. They love him like our Lions love Dan Campbell. Philly's got that edge to them, guys. And they are still, to me, the team to beat, especially if they get home field advantage.
What I would say about that, Ryan, I'll open the last one to you. I'll send you the Lions one. What I would say that thing with Maz is if it's not 7-13 at the end of the half, if it's 2 touchdowns that were scored by the Eagles as opposed to 2 field goals, now you make Brock Purdy play a different style of offense. And we all know he doesn't play the same, and Kyle Shanahan doesn't play the same when he's behind. So that's the only reason why I think if you get ahead of them, you can have success on 49ers. Ryan and mine, last one I'll give to you. The Lions are still the second best team in the whole NFL, not the NFC, the entire NFL. State your case.
Offensively, they could play with anybody. They could play with Dallas. They could play with Philadelphia. I am not a big believer in Philadelphia this year. I think San Francisco is the top team in the NFC. Everybody after that is lumped together. And if you gave me one aspect of one team, what does Philadelphia do great? What does Dallas do great? What does Detroit do great? What Detroit does great is better than what those other 2 teams do that are great. And Detroit can score with anybody.
I love it. I like it. I think the Detroit Lions are definitely having something to hold on to. I think being 9-3, they're not fraudulent at all, and we'll see what happens at that time. So this was a little first time out the
Good.
gate.
I love it, Bray. I love it.
Yeah, this is cool, man.
Very good.
I got to get a gavel now so I can
Yeah, you got to get a gavel.
hit my gavel. But that was state your case for the first time. Appreciate it.
Nice
I
job,
love
buddy.
it. Good job, Bray. Hey, coming up next, we are going to look at the New Year's Six Bowls, look at the final college football playoff top 25, see how the Big Ten fared there. And then we're going to go talk a little NFL with Jennifer Hammond. We'll do so top of the hour. But first, a message from Feldman.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. With 18 locations, there is a Feldman dealership near you in your own backyard. All you got to do is go to feldmanauto.com. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. It's called the Feldman Advantage, so you got to do yourself a favor and take advantage.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company, your official outdoor equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, SnowX plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. You could buy it, you could sell it. All for 0% financing, delivered to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Told you it sucked. I'm talking about these.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. Very good.
I had 2.5 years of that for me, though. You got 1 day.
Damn. Sorry, guys. I'm having, headphone issues, earpiece issues, and I cannot tell you how frustrating that is for me. Like, it is taking everything in my power not to take this desk, flip it on its side, and light the place on fire.
I got to explain it for the good people at home. See, Ryan Ermanni, Fox 2, he has an earpiece that is molded to his ear, and he's had that at Fox 2 now for the better part of 20 plus years. Congratulations on that, by the way. So he comes in, he has the earpiece, it's molded, it's nice and fit. It's what he uses at Fox 2. He brings it here, he sets it up, he's smooth, he's ready to rock and roll, he's doing the reads. Hey, here's this read, and hey, here's this. He doesn't have that right now. He's got this little BS.
You know what I am?
BS one like me. He's going through it.
You know who I am?
Bougie.
I'm Jared Goff. I need all the conditions to be perfect for me to be any
That's
good.
good. That's a good call.
That was good.
I need all the conditions to be perfect for me
That
to be
was
any
good.
good
You
whatsoever.
think Jared Goff's in a rotten mood
So
like
right
you?
now, Frank Ragnar has a bad toe on you as well?
Oh, gosh.
You think Goff's in a rotten mood like you and crying like a baby? You think he's crying like a baby?
Call, man.
I don't think he is. I see him man up. I see him smiling with his teammates.
There's no crying in podcasting.
No, man. No.
Instead of breaking our balls.
Get rid of it. Whatever.
There we go.
I don't even give it whatever.
That's what I'm talking
it's
about.
fine.
We don't have any more sound coming up. You're
No,
good.
it's fine. It's not so much the sound, it's hearing the voice in my ear.
I totally understand.
Please.
Right. I totally
Thank
understand.
You want me to talk louder?
Yeah, just talk louder to me because I don't wear these headphones.
We're going through a lot here.
Yeah, very good. All right, let me take a look at the New Year's 6 bowl games. And I always hated this New Year's 6 bowl games. It's the dumbest thing in the world because there's 2 bowl games that matter, and there's 4 teams that matter. This 6 situation.
Well, it's supposed to, you wake up in the morning on New Year's Day after you had a nice New Year's Eve. You put the game on at 11 a.m. and you start watching these teams you don't give a damn about. But it's mostly about gambling. Let's face it.
But again, if you look at Penn State Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl, you're like, that fan base is like, oh, we got a New Year's 6 bowl.
I know.
Cotton Bowl. Oh, we got a New Year's 6 bowl. Ohio State in Missouri. What about the Orange Bowl? The Great Orange Bowl. The beautiful Orange Bowl. It's
the
2
smiling
teams.
orange.
It's 2 teams that don't want to be there. Florida State and Georgia.
Right.
Neither wants to be there.
No, they don't. Georgia just played this game like 2
They
years
try to
ago.
hype that New Year's 6 bowl thing up like there is no tomorrow.
I mean,
But that is the bowl game. Pete, don't block the bowl. Thanks. That Orange Bowl is the game that I am looking forward to watching. If either team cares at all, that's going to be a good football game. I think Georgia wins by 4 touchdowns. I think Georgia wins by 4 touchdowns.
I think the Cotton Bowl could be good.
Actually, I think Georgia probably went closer to what they did to TCU last year. It might be in the ballpark of 48-10. But I still do like college. I still like the bowl games. I mean, you still have some good storylines in there. I think the Cotton Bowl has the running back from Mizzou who was a walk-on. Now he's averaging 190 yards a game or something. The running back at Ohio State. You're going to see what Ryan Day wants to do. Ole Miss and Penn State. I want to see Ole Miss destroy James Franklin. That'll be fun to watch. Yeah, I can't so much talk about Liberty and Oregon. Though.
How does Liberty get in a New Year's game?
Because it's one of those
Toledo almost
undefeated?
made it. Do you know if Toledo would have won last weekend at the
They'd be
MAC
playing
championship?
Oregon?
They'd be in this game.
They'd be playing
Toledo,
Oregon.
yes.
Because Liberty's undefeated, correct?
I guess so.
Hey, look, man, give them some shine. You're the one that always wants to
Who,
get a little guy
Toledo?
some shine.
Toledo was
Toledo would've
unbeaten
been-
until
yeah.
last weekend.
Well, they lost the first game at Illinois.
Oh, they did?
And then they reeled off 10 in a row.
Okay.
They lost by 2 at Illinois and really late.
They won all their games after Illinois.
Yeah, and then they won all their games after. And then somehow, some way, they lost to Miami at Ford Field.
No one beats Miami at Ford
I was
Field.
downtown too, like Miami. So I came downtown. My father and I we were down shooting some stuff that we're cooking up. Can't wait to tell you guys about it. But Miami of Ohio had a lot of fans. Like obviously Finley's only down the street. There's the Hammer. They had a lot of fans here, man. I'm not in shock that they won because they were deep. I saw red and white. And I'm like, red and white. Who
You
the
know
hell
that
is this downtown?
Toledo team, that quarterback went to King and the running back went to King, and they won a state championship at Ford Field.
That's when Curly had the Hail Mary for a touchdown. Yeah,
exactly.
Curly that went to Michigan State.
Yes.
Leave it
I
there.
want to know the game I'm most interested in is December 26th. It is the
Who's
Quick
playing,
Lane
Santa
Bowl.
and Krampus?
The Quick Lane Bowl here at Ford Field. I never miss it, by the way.
That game still goes on?
Pete, who's in that game? You want to tell us?
Minnesota and Bowling Green.
Yeah, I know.
For the second year in a row to the Quick Lane, taking on Minnesota.
JB, I knew that. I wanted Pete to say.
Oh, I thought you were asking like you were saying.
No, I know who's in the game.
So my brother actually went to one of those games. My brother played in Berkeley. When Berkeley was at Minnesota, Minnesota played. I want to say, I don't know, Central maybe. I think Minnesota played Central. It's been like 2018. So
Just a shame Michigan State couldn't be in that bowl this year.
That's too bad.
Just a shame.
It's too bad.
I don't even.
Well, look what happened to him at Ford Field on Black Friday. You don't want that. You don't want another one of those. Unless Mel Tucker was coaching.
What?
I don't know.
No, it was just my head was on the screen. It's like it's like I'm not even talking.
God help us.
I'm not talking.
Oh yeah, you're fixing masses now. What a disaster! Oh my God! What a mess!
Let's take a break and get back on track.
Oh my gosh! All right, we'll get Hammer set up. We'll let the professionals take over next. Where are we going here, Pete? Hamlin Pub. Thank you.
God.
Let's have a beer for me.
ASAP.
Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of the Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
How would you like to enter a $100,000 Vegas getaway and win it? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win. Register at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. Look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Hey, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan, Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. We'll get him back here momentarily. Tom Mazaway standing up at the desk with us. How you doing today, Tom?
I'm good, man. You know, I only give up my chair for one person.
Hammer.
The Hammer. That's it.
She'll get seated momentarily.
Take your time.
She'll get seated momentarily.
She's in makeup right now.
Yeah.
Her son Riley's working on her makeup right now. Riley works over at Birmingham Roast. So we got the whole family here. Well, we don't have her daughter here, though. But she's having a good time up at Grand Valley. I know that. My daughter's up there as well.
Y'all sit, Ham?
It's a fun time, man. Dan Miller is under the weather today. So stepping up in his stead is Is the Hammer
Look
herself.
at that.
I say it's an upgrade.
I really believe
I'm all set.
Grab
Wait,
that
I
mic
want to
down
do the
there.
roller coaster. Braylon, come here.
Okay.
I really believe the Hammer in studio is what's the roller coaster?
Remember how you do it? You haven't seen it? The Miami Dolphins?
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
That was really good.
Did you see that celebration?
I didn't
That
even
is
know what it
my
was.
favorite one of the year.
I didn't even realize that's what it was.
Hey, Jen, pull that mic up.
Okay.
You got the trigger on it there. That's
Hi.
fine. There you go. You're
So on that one, Jen, I got to give a lot of credit to the offensive lineman who came up there because he really made it, locking everybody in.
He did.
He was very fit, so yeah.
I know. I didn't
agree
even
with
see
you,
which
dope.
player it was.
That was
but
a dope one.
Yeah, it was dope, right?
I don't think that's going to win a playoff game, though.
Oh, you don't like the Dolphins
Miami
winning a
straight, too.
playoff
I don't
game?
think so.
But the good thing about
Not if they have to play the Bills.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Not if they have to play the Bills?
Bills own them.
Yeah, but the Bills this year, man.
I
wouldn't
love
put-
Mike McDaniels. I just don't think the Dolphins
I
have.
do love.
But
Isn't
they'll
it
have to
great?
go to Miami,
what a
though.
breath of fresh air! Like
love
coaches
that.
like McDaniel, Dan Campbell. Let me think. Who else is in my top three? Just
Coaches?
Guys,
How about Nick
Guys
Sirianni?
with Nick Sirianni, a little serious, but
yeah, but he's got.
But I do love these coaches that are just, injecting personality into the game.
Real people.
Yeah.
Real
They're
people.
real people.
Real people.
There's, I heard, I heard this CEO at a corporation. I'm not going to say which one, talking on like a big all conference, whatever.
Like a TED Talk, you mean, or
No,
he was just
like,
at a
like an all employee.
Yes,
all
okay.
employee. That's not how real people talk. We need the synergy and the collaboration and right. And it's like, stop talking. People don't talk like this. So when you get a Dan Campbell, somebody that authenticity. When you have these guys and it's just like what the Calvin Shepard.
He is great.
Calvin Shepard, what he says in the Hard Knocks, that he's thinking about cutting his dreads off because that's what he thought coaches should be.
Yeah.
And Dan Campbell's like,
hell no.
You're not cutting those things off. No.
And also Dave Phipp. And that is one of the great things I think about this team as well, is that Campbell really kind of empowers his coaches to be their own people. I may be at the top, but we're a team of coaches.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. It's a great
If you read any leadership book, that is the one aspect that is so true amongst all great leaders. They empower their people.
Mm-hmm.
And
they get down and dirty with their people.
Absolutely. And empower them. Let them make decisions. Let them make mistakes. Communicate with them. Treat them like human beings. Treat them like equals. And that's exactly what Dan Campbell's done with this coaching staff. And I think that's why when you look around, everybody loves these guys. Everybody wants to be a part of it. And Jen, you've been around. That's not always been the case.
Yeah.
Like Wayne Fonts back in the day.
I think Wayne was a little bit of that.
Absolutely.
Probably ahead of his time in the sense that he could make fun of himself when coaches weren't doing that. And think about it. He was largely kind of viewed as
a clown.
A clown. I was going to say a buffoon, but I
Yeah.
like clown better. He was largely viewed as just kind of a clown guy who didn't know what he was doing, perhaps. But boy,
he did.
He had the secret sauce. His players would always go on these long winning streaks for him at the end of the season because he treated them well, and they wanted to run through a brick
I
wall
love
for the
them,
guy.
man. I don't think he was a bad coach.
Yeah,
I really don't.
enjoyed Wayne Fonts.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, Jen.
until I didn't.
I want to change it up, but we were talking about playoff matchups just a minute ago, like with Miami. There are probably 4 teams right now, I think, in the NFC that you could consider being a potential opponent for the Lions in the first round. You've got the Packers, the Vikings, the Seahawks, and the Rams.
Can I go in order of who I don't want to see?
Yes, that's what I want you to do.
Seahawks. Even though they've dipped a bit, I still think they have great confidence, and they've got the Lions.
So
number.
one is Seahawks.
One is Seahawks. I would have to say right now, number 2 has got to be the Green Bay Packers. And maybe it's 1 and 1A. I mean, the Packers, with what they're doing, the way that Jordan Love is playing, also that defense, and those are the things that we have to look at right now. And based on, so if you're going to say if the playoffs started today, you have to do this is the lineup the Lions go to the playoffs with if it started today, meaning Frank Ragnow is out, Aleem McNeil is out. We've got Anzalone coming off of injury.
CJ is out.
Yeah, we're missing some of those DBs still. And then I would say, God, The Rams don't scare me in the least.
You don't want Matthew Stafford coming here, do you?
I can just see the headline
I would
now.
love it. I think they would kick his ass.
For the story.
I would dream to have that matchup.
I would love that. Yeah, so if you're telling, I would love that matchup.
Right. Can I give you my Vikings reason why I don't want to play the Vikings at all?
Yes, please.
I don't want to see the Vikings because week 16, week 18, and then again in week 19, that is a lot, man. That is a lot to see when you're better than a team, especially. And I think the Lions are much
From a
better.
schematic-
Man, you got to stop doing that every time.
What's he doing? Is he leaning in your shot?
Please. But anytime you play a team that's inferior to you, and I do think the Vikings are inferior to the Lions right now. When you see them 3 times in 4 weeks, that's dangerous, man.
But I also think that may bode well for the Lions. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop that game on the 24th in Minnesota, but there's no way they lose the last game of the season at home.
They always lose
team.
on Christmas Eve, don't they?
What was
last year?
Oh, Panthers.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not like that.
No, please no.
But you know what, though? What won't see... So here's the thing. The Lions never lose 2 in a row, right? They're on this crazy streak of,
since
what,
week
22?
8-9 last year?
22 straight games where they haven't lost back-to-back games. So I like to look at kind of piece by piece. I think they lose this week in Chicago. I think they beat the Broncos at home. I think that they win on Christmas Eve in Minnesota. I think they're going to lose at Dallas, and then they'll come home and win to close out the season against the Vikings.
So you got them sweeping.
So I do have them sweeping the Vikings. I guess I'm changing my tune
You are.
mid-sentence.
But Braylon, that's what Maz was saying too. Like if you just win your division games, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, hey, how you doing, Jen? Good to see you over there.
Hi, Bray.
Nah, I'm messing with you. I want to go back to something you said about Mike McDonald.
Because my head is constantly this way, just staring at
Nah,
Ryan.
like every time I want to say something, Maz cut me off. So
Sorry, man. I told you.
Or
I
he
shouldn't be
leaned
up
in
there.
with his head.
Nah, I'm just messing around with you, Maz. I'm loving it. Mike McDaniel is definitely a breath of
sit on the
fresh air. Look, I have 2 kids that are on the spectrum, and I recognize spectrum injury, and the fact that he's a head coach operating at this level, and you're watching it. Our kid, my 2 sons now can do anything. Like I believe, like the energy of that. So like when I watch him, I watch from a different kind of point of view. I look at that and I'm like, my son can be a head coach. My son can be a CEO. My son can do that. And I think he can do that as well. So that's one thing about Mike McDaniel that I love, that energy. But just getting back to Detroit Lions and Minnesota. Minnesota's falling behind. I'm not worried about them. So Green Bay necessarily not worried about that because you're thinking about the Detroit Lions. Them getting in the playoffs, this particular team, I'm not necessarily worried about anybody they will have to play. I'm just not. Like I understand that they've got some injuries. I understand that some things haven't necessarily gone that way. But you watch this team fight through what they fought. Like, this core team is the 3-13-1 team. Like they're 3-13-1 core. Then last year 0-6 core, and then they fought to be 8-2 in the last 10 games. So I just think once they get in, that's all they've been waiting for. And I think you get a situation where they get in, it can get rocking and rolling.
Josh Dobbs is back this week. They say he is starting against the Raiders, so we'll see how Josh Dobbs bounces back.
Yeah, and he's another mobile quarterback, and we've seen him do some good things. I mean, there's been a couple games I've watched where he's intimidated me a little bit to the point that I thought, boy, if he gets loose, he could hurt the Lions.
How much of that you see? This is a great question. You see the game on Monday. You see the Cincinnati Bengals. They have Jake Browning in there. Washington Stubb from the Huskies hasn't won a game since 2018. And you watch him have this massive game. Josh Dobbs, first 2 games with the Vikings. But then what happened when Josh got at their 3rd game and then the 4th game? One of the big question marks is as these guys now get film, they're not the same quarterback because you're trying to figure it out. Jacksonville didn't know who the hell Jake Browning was. Right. When he took off on that run, they were like, I didn't know he could run. Did you know? I didn't know he could run.
It's the proverbial 3rd time through the rotation.
Exactly.
You get some film on a guy, you get to see him a little bit, and then you kind of get his
So I agree
number.
with Maz on that 3rd time. I agree with you, actually. That 3rd time, they'll be fine.
Jet, look at this Lions season as a whole. I think when they beat Kansas City, we all thought there was no stopping them, and the expectations just continue to go up, 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 up. And then there's been a little bit of a dip as San Francisco has gotten better, as Philadelphia is 10-1. Have your expectations changed at all along the way?
So that's an interesting question because I feel like one of the most important or imperative things that anyone needs to do as an observer, an analyst, a journalist, is not to react.
Yeah.
And that isn't it what Dan Campbell says to his team all the time. Don't go here. Don't go here. We just keep going like this. Actually, their new thing is kind of keep going, kind of slowly up. Slow and steady wins the race. I don't think that what other teams are doing has changed my perspective on the Lions as much as what perhaps maybe the Lions are not doing as well as they once were is what has changed my perspective on the Lions defensively.
Yeah,
for instance.
That's exactly right. I mean, what
29
has happened
points
here?
I think it's a 29-point average over the last 6 games. Now, can they outscore some teams? Sure. They've been outscoring the teams they've faced. Is that script going to play well come playoff time in Philadelphia, in San Francisco? I'm not sure.
How much of that, asking this question, how much of that is starting to realize the absence of players on defense, starting to realize no CJG, starting to realize, the guys that are getting injured, Anzalone missed last game, starting to realize Emmanuel Mosley isn't on that side. There's a reason why Brad Holmes went out and got certain players in the offseason. These are the positions that we needed. And now that those players aren't there, is that starting to, along with the Lions' turnovers?
I do think that there is a lot of that at work. Yeah, there's a correlation. Hi, do you have a question? I love him. I love him sneaking around and like grabbing
Spivak's
papers.
great.
See, I don't ignore people very well. Like I just whatever's happening. Like I have ADD, Maz.
It's like tough when
this is a virtual impossibility. There's like so many microphones and cameras and places to look and.
I don't pay attention to anybody.
Oh my God.
Run. This is setup.
I'm like a golden retriever in a
Ryan's still pissed about his headphones.
I'm a golden retriever in a squirrel park right now. Anyway, so I do think that teams are starting to get some film on the Lions, right? They're seeing when they've been beaten, how teams are beating them. They can follow that script. Thank you, Baltimore. Wow.
Thank you, Baltimore.
Man, Baltimore, didn't they come out of nowhere? And that's a great example, actually, Braylon. Baltimore is one of those teams that was a little bit under the radar and trying to find their way early in the season.
Yeah.
And boy, once they got their rhythm going, now everybody has them as the number 1 team to win the Super Bowl. I believe that their odds are right near the top of San Francisco.
I think if you had to pick an AFC team right now, you'd have to say Baltimore,
that
right?
Defense.
That was the team I picked before the season.
That is.
Yeah, that wasn't really. So
I picked the Ravens against the 49ers.
I've realized you're right about a lot of things. I saw your JMO.
Thank you so much.
I saw your JMO thing the other day on Instagram.
No, you don't.
And you were one of the guys that said, lay off JMO. He's going to be fine.
Because one of the biggest things is me being in that same spot. I was a first-round draft pick. I was young. I wasn't that young. I was 22.
And
JMO
you weren't
was
that
20.
fast. All due respect.
Hell no. No disrespect taken. But when you're young, you got to figure it out. And he came in injured and young and in a weird time with the gambling. So it was like, you just got to let him get into the team. You got to give him a second. He's young. Once you get in, relax. He'll figure it out. Because the biggest thing that I saw that got me right with him, when he came here and everybody was like, oh, he wasn't smiling when they drafted him. He doesn't want to be here. And then you instantly saw him smile when he got here. He said, no, I definitely want to be here. I said, just work with the kid. Just give him. And Dan Campbell and the team have been there for him. And you're starting to see the electricity.
Hey, and Antoine Randall, that guy.
There you go.
And Ben Johnson. Love him, support him, never gave up on him. And the trust with JG is building. And I think I should issue a little bit of an apology. I did kind of get on him on Twitter the other day for doing that swan dive in the end zone. Just because
you don't want him to get hurt.
I don't want him to get hurt. And that, like Stephen Tulloch, the discount double checker, whatever he did, and Bill Gramatica. I mean, it's just like, just stay healthy.
If there's a guy that it would happen to, it probably would happen to J-Mo too. Got to get a break in. Pete, what am I doing here? There you go, Swiss. How about that? Thanks.
I got you. Do you have football on the brain like us? Well, of course you do. It's already been an awesome fall with college and professional football this year, but fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com, or as always, give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Sports and Long Drink live Sunday officials Lions VIP tailgate. That's right. Get your tickets today at bullseyeeventgroup.com. Only the home game, so the next one will be the Broncos. 8:15 flex. That's what I'm talking about. 8:15 flex.
8:15 flex. 8:15
Eastern
flex.
Market Shed 5 is a place to be. You're going there. Tailgate. Woodward Sports. You never know what you might see, who you might see, but also remember when the game starts, it is over. Gotta get your butts up out of there. Long Drink and bullseyeeventgroup.com.
You sounded like Pete Spivak for a minute there.
I want to go to that. I've never been one of those tailgates.
It's a great tailgate.
90s disc jockey.
Especially in the Eastern Market Shed 5 where it's covered in the winter.
Yeah.
It's still got that cold. You're still wearing like sweaters and jackets and stuff like that.
Can you get me an in?
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Hammer, you get all.
I know somebody.
I'll bring a TV camera. I bet I could do some.
Well,
I don't even know.
You don't even need to do that. It's just drinks,
Come hang out.
food, drinks, food, fun.
I love the Lions
Oh,
fans.
it's so great.
Can I say it again about New
Please.
Orleans? Like every week, just more and more Honolulu blue and silver.
Kind of a thing now, right?
The blue wave. It is epic.
Yeah.
They were all on my flight. And we connected through St. Louis on Southwest, and then on Monday morning coming back at 8 a.m., same thing. And it's the coolest thing.
And
I just love this fan base.
It's almost an automatic win on the road now. I mean,
Yeah,
if they're going to lose a game, they're going to lose at home. Right?
That's a balance at 125. 15 straight.
And there's no bad city. Any city now is great.
Right. Speaking of that, you go to Chicago now this week.
I am going to Chicago.
Second time around the Chicago.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I mean, there may be some weather. I don't think it's going to be snow like they had.
Well, I think it's going to be 50, like around 40 or 50,
I think that's Saturday.
Yeah, it drops into the
and then the bottom drops
yeah.
out just a bit, so maybe it'll be like 28, 29 in the morning when we're out there for our live pregame show on Fox 2 at 10 a.m. Eastern time with Bob Winowski, Will Birchfield, Dan Miller, TJ Lang.
I played
Ryan and Braylon?
Plug. Oh, Ryan and Braylon.
There you
I know.
go.
Usually that's when I step out and go get my hot cocoa, hit the ladies' room, touch up my makeup.
Chicago is the worst in December, man.
Chicago's a crazy place to play in December, right?
I got stuck in a snow blizzard when I was with the who was I? I was with the play for so many teams. The Seahawks. This is Jets. 2010. We go there. We played the week before Christmas. We got stuck there. It was snowing like crazy. Couldn't see during the game. It was like 10 degrees.
You like that?
We did lose.
You
We lost 20-4.
Yeah.
20 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
So Maz remembers.
I like snow.
Do players like snow?
Maz
I love
is
snow.
sick.
I hate
He's
rain.
got a sickness.
Yeah.
I love
Rain's
snow.
terrible.
It's funny. We stayed at the Trump too, man, and like we tore that place up.
Pause.
They've got a beautiful little balcony outdoors for the summer
It
months.
was a team hotel. It was a team hotel.
It ain't anymore.
So it reminds me. I'm not sure what you said.
No, he said they stayed at the Trump Hotel. He's like, it was the team hotel. I said it ain't anymore.
Yeah, probably not. The game in Philadelphia when it was snowing so fast.
Oh my God,
they had
I remember
to
that.
keep every time out just to try to get the hash lines.
The lines, yeah.
It was I mean, I think that's a fun thing to
What's
watch
the Shady
too.
McCoy running back?
It is. The TV's got it down now, right? They put that. They actually still have the yard markers and everything.
The yellow
lined
line
up
goes across the snow.
for us watching it. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
But over there,
We
they
know
can't
what's
see
going on.
anything.
They
I know.
don't.
They don't.
Those
Exactly.
games are fun if you win, and they're miserable if you lose. Like if you win, you get to do snow angels, and you go out there and it's fun. You get to interact, snowball fight. When you lose, man, get the hell off this field. Why is it snowing like that? It's definitely two different feelings.
Jen, second time around with this Bears team, I'm having a hard time kind of putting my finger on how I feel about this game, because one part of me says Matt Eberflus actually was the reason that the Lions won that game,
and he has since won an NFC North
game
matchup.
Right. And then another part of me says they had 4 freaking turnovers in the game and still won it. So if they just don't do that, this shouldn't be that difficult.
So I don't think that game is going to repeat itself. I mean, certainly I think they'll protect the ball better because
4 turnovers. Come on.
Yeah, that was insane. That was really crazy. And they did a really nice job. Let's give them credit against the Saints. 2 takeaways. 0
why they won.
Total protection.
That's why they
it
won.
is the difference in that ball game and also probably David Carr going out because he was really good.
Derek.
He was bad in the first half, but in the second half,
heated up.
he found his rhythm. He heated up. And
Taysom
he
Hill.
could have been some trouble before Irvin got to him.
For sure.
How about Bruce Irvin, man? What a nice little addition he is.
Give me 20 snaps now this week.
Right?
What do you have, 10, 11 snaps last week?
Yeah.
Now give me 20
Couple
this
of sacks.
week.
Old man strength.
Yeah.
I was
hey,
in Seattle when he got
36,
drafted.
36 is the new 26.
I love
Right.
it. We got 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
We got
Yeah, right.
Alulu and him, both 36 years old.
Yep. So I do think that once again, the Bears are going to be prepared. They're going to come after Jared Goff. It's going to be a big ask for that offensive line to protect without Frank Ragnow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge game for
Run
that
the ball.
offensive line. They're going to have to run, but also running is about the offensive line as well. I do think that Jordan Fields, I mean, what was it last time? I have the numbers right here. In that Week 11 game, he ran
Over 100 yards, I know that.
over 100, passed over 100, and I just think that I think the Bears are gonna. I'm taking the Bears in the points. Let me just say
3
that.
points, I know.
It's up to
Oh, is
3.5.
it down to 3 now?
Yeah.
It's 3.5.
Didn't
went
it
up
start
today.
at 5?
No, I thought it started at 3. I hit it on Monday. It's at 3.
Oh, okay.
3.5 today as we
Okay.
speak.
Yeah, it's gone
Okay.
up to 3.5.
Okay.
Lions by
Well-
3.5.
But what's your take on? Did we even ask you about Aleem McNeil being down?
No, we didn't
Yeah.
do that
And
yet.
Ndamukong Suh being out there and pretty much no
I don't
chance
hate-
of him coming here.
I don't hate the Sue idea. Yeah, Campbell kind of squashed
Yeah.
that today, didn't he?
Yeah,
He did.
What did he say? I did not hear that today.
He said Brad has been doing, looking at everything, talking about everything. We know who's out there. We got a guy. We feel pretty comfortable about that. So for now, we're basically for now we're set. I think. I don't know. I do think that part of the allure of Sue is because people are in love with the idea of what Sue was. And I think that they still have that fond recollection of him coming in here and being that same Sue.
2015 Sue.
I don't know.
2023 Sue ain't 2024.
I don't even.
Or
I mean, I'm
2011,
not even sure
right.
what his numbers were like with the Eagles. He was with the Eagles right at the end of last season in 2022.
2 sacks. 2 sacks on
So-
He almost killed Matt Stafford, if you remember.
But you know what? Even if
2 years
a guy
ago.
like that or this guy they got, pronounce his last name for me.
Alulu.
Alulu.
I think that's how we're saying it
Okay,
anyway.
good. Alulu. If they can get a guy that can just help free up Hutch, right? Isn't that just what they need at the end of the day? Even if Bruce Irvin can be that guy more regularly and they can get Hutch freed up a little bit, because Hutch is getting pressure, but he just needs somebody to help complement that pressure.
There's no doubt about it. And I think that's one of the biggest disappointments about, the trade deadline is because, each year is a different year. Every year is different. Next year, you might get 4, 5, 6 quarterbacks in the NFC, and the thing might look a lot different. Jordan Love might look like a Pro Bowler all season, not just in the second half. Minnesota might get somebody. I mean, it's just kind of like this thing has been handed on a platter to the NFC North anyway.
it has.
It's been handed on a platter to them, and you want them to take advantage of that situation. And it feels like since draft day, they didn't do anything to make themselves any better.
They're 9-3, Ryan. I'm sorry. What your problem might be?
It's not. It's just that I don't think they can win the Super Bowl, and I think if they would have gotten one of these guys, the Chase Youngs of the world, the Montez Sweats of the world, I think there's no stopping this guy.
Yeah,
this team, and
Chase Young may ultimately be one
the
that
difference.
Helps the Niners win the Super Bowl.
You just see what those teams do.
I would agree with you on
the
that.
Niners,
Super Bowl
the
call.
Eagles.
But I never thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. I feel like this started as a year that we wanted them to. Remember at the beginning of the year, we all said, just win the division and win a playoff game at home. I think that's what people really were giving it kind of, I think the majority, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
Which I know you will. But people were just saying, just win a playoff game at home. But then suddenly they got on this roll and people thought, wow, they could go to NFC Championship, win the Super Bowl. I'm not really there yet because there are still some pieces I feel like they need. Some of them through injury that they lost in the defensive backfield, the guys that they did pick up in the offseason. But I agree with you. I think they need a little more help on that defensive line.
My thoughts on that, and when we get back, I actually want to ask you about Jared Goff and the quarterback situation. This could be a really big game for him in my estimation. But the last thing I would say to what you said, I think a lot of Lions fans believe they went to the playoffs last year. And I think in terms of this, where we should go in Super Bowl, a lot of Lions fans, they look at 8-2 as the playoff years. Okay, we made the playoffs. We went 8-2, or we should have made the playoffs. Now this year is the year they make it to the Super Bowl. And I think early on, when you beat the Chiefs, after you beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, it turned everybody into we're going to the Super Bowl. And I don't think anybody has looked back. I think it was the last year, though, those last 10 games, they went 8-2. Lions pretty much made the playoffs in their mind. For the fans, I mean.
Well, that game in Green Bay to end the season certainly felt like a playoff.
No doubt. Hey, guys, we'll take a break. Hey, gang, we're back, and we want to let you know that Guardian Alarm is your local. What is Guardian Alarm?
It's Ryan. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Your local security experts that have been. I told you, man. I'm like Goff. I need all the conditions good. I need all the conditions good for me to be successful. Your local security experts
like
and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, your 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out.
Stay out. That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today.
I didn't do it the right way.
No, you did it
Tell
the
them
right way.
Woodward
This is your
Sports
show.
sent you.
I'm just living in your world.
Also,
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gavin Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Les Stanford Buick GMC. That's right. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
All right, welcome back to Ermanni Edwards with Maz. As you see all three of us at the desk, you know what that means. The Hammer, Jennifer Hammond, in town. Jennifer, how you doing over there, Hammer?
I'm wonderful. I get the comfy chair and the ring light.
Well, this is your show. We want to make you feel as comfortable as possible because this may be a regular thing.
I think my son's
here.
getting me a cappuccino with
I didn't
double
know
shot
that
espresso.
Was your son.
Yeah, he works at Roast.
I think
Birmingham
the
Roast.
first time I talked to him, maybe
Riley
like 3 weeks
Morton.
ago, I was like, "Hey, how you doing? What's your name? How you like it here?" And it was good.
I
dude,
love
man.
that. And thank you for saying he's polite.
This Birmingham
He's
Roast
very
situation
polite.
is the real deal.
Dude,
I mean,
Birmingham Roast.
Oh, man.
And don't sleep on their breakfast sandwiches.
Oh my God. The breakfast burrito.
The Caesar
That's
wrap.
what, yeah, that's what Riley
Caesar chicken wrap.
And he can't have a better boss than the beautiful Lydia.
I've met Lydia.
She
I've met
is
Lydia.
the best.
Everybody in there is great.
Everybody is great. You know who else is great? The Michigan Wolverines, who just went back to back to back. Hammer, you were down there. Ryan Ermanni was down there. Just talk about what this means. I'll start here, and I'll let you take the show from there. I had a premonition, and my premonition was when Tony Petitti pulled the very coward move of suspending Jim Harbaugh when he was in flight on his way to Happy Valley, reminding me of Tom Brady getting suspended for the beginning of that season, and then Roger Goodell having to give Tom Brady the MVP trophy. I couldn't wait for Tony Petitti to have to give Jim Harbaugh that trophy, but Jim Harbaugh, he chose another player. Talk about Zach Manor, Michigan, and everything that was their third in a row.
So what's really cool is that Ryan was in Indianapolis for that game.
Finally, I've been trying to get him there for 2 years.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Because usually I do the traveling because I arm wrestle everybody and I beat them.
And that's how
years
you and
ago.
I got to hang out. Okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
get
how
it.
we got to hang
I
out.
still got
Oh yeah,
that
when you
video,
were
by the
riding
way.
on that bird or whatever that scooter was.
I
We
still
came
got
out of
the
a
video.
lovely steak dinner in downtown Indy and Braylon got on a, what are they called, birds?
Oh, the scooters that
What
you
are
kind of
those
like do,
scooters?
like the Uber
Oh,
scooters.
yeah.
You do
I
that.
saw that.
And he was flying.
I was going to get on one of those.
I was kind
I
of
may
terrified.
or may not have had a couple.
Yeah, I had a couple. And don't ever let me get on one of those because I'm
I
the one that's going to
promise
go
I
down.
mean,
I'm going to go right
seriously.
into a brick
No,
wall.
I
on
won't
that.
let
Don't
you
let
do it,
Maz get on the bird
But
either.
what I really love is there's something so poetic about everything this year. I don't know if
They're winning it all.
Winning it all back in Pasadena. Not that they're going to win it all in Pasadena. Obviously, they'll go to Houston to do that. But going to Pasadena to try to beat Alabama to get to the national championship. The last time they did it was '97. I was down there with that team.
Are you going to the Rose Bowl?
I am going to the Rose Bowl again this year. So it is my honor to cover winning football, be it the Lions, be it the University of Michigan. I went with Michigan State as well, 2015, New Year's Eve 2015, to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, and that was really exciting. This CFP stuff, I know it's going to be different next year, but I think for this last year, for the Wolverines to be going to the Rose Bowl and to have a team like this, and I'm so happy for Blake Corum as a guy, as a player who got injured last year, who came back and said, we're going to do all these things. In a day and age when everybody's ready to jump in the portal, get the hell out, I want mine, I'm not playing in a bowl game because I want to go pro. It's so lovely to see a team of kids, and they're kids.
Yeah.
As the parent of a 28-year-old, a 22-year-old, and a 20-year-old, I'm starting to really have more of a sensitivity for kids playing a game and going to college and getting an education. Some of them will go on to the NFL.
Yeah.
A lot of them won't.
Most
and
of
these
them
are
won't.
huge opportunities for these kids. And you know what? The Harbaugh stuff aside, it's about these kids and this team, and they are a family, and I love watching them play. Alabama's a great matchup. I'm glad they got him.
You bring up a good point talking about Blake Corum. I didn't even think about that. The first year he goes to the Big Ten Championship, he's backing up Asai Haskins. The year he starts, he actually gets hurt, so Donovan Edwards takes over last year. I didn't even think about that. This actually is the first year that he started in the Big Ten game, which doesn't mean much for others, but you're absolutely correct. It means a lot to Blake Corum and his family. But you just brought up the elephant in the room. Literally,
The
like
elephant.
I did that. The reaction. That's the big thing right now, and that's the country. We know the country wants to be that, blah, blah, blah. Talk about the reaction. You were in the room, Ryan was in the room, and you know Michigan, how we feel about anybody. The people say Michigan's reaction was because they didn't want to play Alabama. What do you say about that?
I don't know why you wouldn't want to play Alabama.
I want Alabama.
Bring the best team.
That's
and
like-
I do think that Alabama will be the best team.
Everybody got that wrong, by the way. I want it's millions of views. Adam Rittenberg tweeted out the video of the room at Michigan when they were watching the selection show, and then Alabama gets announced, and there's this audible gasp in the room, and everybody kind of framed that as that Michigan is scared of Alabama.
No.
And
I think it's because they felt bad that it wasn't Florida State.
That's exactly right.
100%.
I was in that room, and it's Hammer. I fully believe that people don't care about facts anymore.
No.
Like, they just don't care about facts. They believe something, and that's what it is. And that is their fact. Like, I was in that room. I talked to probably 10 players, and there was nothing other than this excitement to be able to play Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
I think everybody was stunned that it wasn't Florida State.
Yes.
Because... And someone, I can't remember, and I wish I could remember because this deserves credit over and over again. It was someone who said it was like a beauty pageant, and Florida State wasn't good looking enough.
I just saw it. It was on ESPN or Fox.
And it was a tremendous take on what went on with the college selection committee. And I do believe
Was
that
it Deion?
No, Stephen A. said that if Deion was the head coach of Florida State would have gotten in over Alabama.
Okay.
Oh,
Like as
wow.
a fourth.
So that's an interesting take
And
that I didn't
it's just
hear.
they're not sexy enough. Florida State is not sexy enough. They play. Well, they score 6 points in the first 3.5 quarters against
13-0
Louisville.
though.
Struggled against Florida.
I wish I was that sexy, 13-0.
But the
That is
product.
something.
But the problem is when the problem is the system. You have 5 Power 5 conferences and 4 spots.
Just ask yourself this. Just make it. Just relate it to Michigan. Michigan's 13-0. If J.J. McCarthy didn't play the last 2 games and insert Orji or quarterback here, and he,
I heard somebody say that. I still think Michigan gets in.
Michigan's brand would have got in, but I'm not talking about the brand. I'm talking about you looking at it as an object observer, where you're like, yeah, I don't know about this team without J.J. McCarthy. Like it would look bad. It looks not that great with J.J. McCarthy. So I think if you would look at it from that lens, you take out their starting quarterback. They struggle against Florida, who's a horrible team under Billy Napier. And then the next week, you get 3.5 yards per quarter. You can't let them in.
All they did was beat the teams you put in front of them. And I don't know what else you can do.
Blame Michigan.
Beat them worse, beat them more,
But
beat
that's
them,
it.
Beat them better.
This whole thing has been style points since for as far as we can remember. The whole thing has been style points for as long as we remember.
It's Michigan's fault.
And next year, wait till the 13th team has a
but
has an extra grind.
at least it's like 13.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least it's 13.
The reason why I say it's Michigan's fault because if Michigan beats TCU last year, if Michigan beats TCU last year, you're not looking at a 62-7 national championship game. And don't you think for 1 second that's not in everybody's mind? Do we want to see Georgia and TCU again? That's real.
Yeah.
No doubt. Guys, I got to get a break. We got Wolverine Wednesday brought to you by our friends at Skinny Butcher. We'll do that next, but first a message from Big Boy.
All right, fellas. Wintertime in Detroit is always a lot better. With comfort foods from Big Boy, try the veal parmesan or the new chicken comfort bowl, the Southern Comfort chicken bowl, that is. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. So's the lumberjack and the Santa Fe garden omelet. And they got the new apple pie hotcakes. You can't miss those. And you got to end it with a great shake from Big Boy. You know, they got all the flavors, but they do have now the new gingerbread flavored shake. So get on that. Get to your local. Get to your local Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Just click on the shop tab. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today. woodwardsports.com. Click on shop. Time now for Wolverine Wednesdays with our good friend Intern Alex. A segment brought to you by our good friends at the Skinny Butcher. Alex, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you, buddy. Alex, I do not hear you. Do you guys hear Alex?
I don't hear him either. Yep.
Alex, we're going to put you on hold, and we'll... Oh, are you there, Alex? Sorry, buddy. I do not hear you. I apologize. We're going to call you, Alex. We'll call you on the cell phone. No, I'm just laughing at the I'm just laughing at the fact that we just can't get it right. You know, it's fine. So we'll try to call him in the meantime. But just getting back to this Michigan conversation and the fact that, you know, the excitement around playing Alabama, Bray. I don't think there's any – people have been trying to take things away from Michigan and generally get you involved here. People have been trying to take so much away from these players. Yeah. It doesn't count. You're cheaters. It doesn't mean anything. I don't understand or see a scenario where you beat Penn State, you beat Ohio State, both without your coach. Then you go and beat Alabama and maybe Texas or Washington. And somebody's trying to tell me that doesn't count. Listen. I mean, go screw yourself at that point.
I guess the big question is, at the end of the season, if they win it all, what kind of retribution will there be from the NCAA? I don't know that there will be. Like you said, they've paid their dues or their punishment.
Right.
They've satisfied their punishment. It is a very good team. I don't know to what extent the sign stealing, you know, goes on throughout college football, if it really helped Michigan. It's one of those things that it's probably going to be an unpopular decision. I feel like it's a little much ado about nothing.
It totally is.
Because it's something that is so prevalent, presumably, and they got caught.
Yeah.
Not that that makes it right, but I do think that they've done enough since then to show that that was not swaying how they performed.
Speaking as a former player that's watching this, you can tell me, whoever, you can say that this doesn't count. You can kiss my ass. I'm going to tell you, tell that to the players that were there this summer, getting up at 6 a.m., running that golf course. Tell that to the players that went through spring. Tell that to the players that went through Jim Harbaugh almost leaving and then coming back and figuring out that path. Because let's talk about it. It wasn't a smooth transition January to March. They get through that. They get through this. You suspend Jim Harbaugh for Cheeseburger Gate. Jesus Christ. Like, you suspended for Cheeseburger Gate, which was a self-imposed suspension.
Yep.
He misses 3 games. You get to play Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State without Jim Harbaugh, who knew nothing about Connor Stallions, and you can't get me to believe otherwise. Did he cheat? Yes, he cheated. We fired Chris Partridge because the gag order he didn't pay attention to. Fired him. Great coach, great recruiter, got canned. Because he did. Michigan has lined up and done everything that they were supposed to do, and they still beat Ohio State, and they still beat Penn State, and now they got their quarterback back. They beat Alabama, and they go on to beat whoever wins between Washington and Texas. Doesn't matter. Line them up. You knock them down. No one's going to say anything. You know why? Because NCAA doesn't have a habit of taking people's national titles. Soon as you win it, they don't want to go through the process of stripping you through that, because that takes money for them to do that. That takes money out of sponsors' hands. So if they win it all, Jen, or Ham, nothing happens to Jim Harbaugh, nothing happens to Michigan, you go on. If they lose, then it starts to get interesting.
Do you think Harbaugh's going to be there next year in Ann Arbor?
He's stubborn as I am.
I do.
You both
I absolutely do. I absolutely do.
You can't force me out of anything I don't want to be forced out of.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be forced out. I do think, though, that NFL, if he does win the national championship,
remember
I
the
do
49ers
think,
situation.
he
got forced out of that one.
I do feel like he's going to, if he can get a situation where he can assure that he has what he needs, that he would love to try to do it at that level as well.
2 things about this, and then I'm going to take a break and get to Intern Alex for the next segment, because I want to give him his proper time. I think that Jim Harbaugh, I like seeing him in Indianapolis with his family, and seeing him with the players, and seeing him with the players' parents. It totally changed my opinion about this whole thing. He's not leaving. And he might explore these situations, but he is not leaving those kids. He is not leaving that team. And there's something just quirky enough about Jim Harbaugh that he wants his younger kids to grow up the same way that he grew up, with their dad coaching at Michigan, going to the St. Francis, the same schools and all this stuff, having that same upbringing. And he could be the coach at Michigan for the next 15 years and ride this thing out. I mean, just seeing his family there, all of them together, seeing the smiles when he's talking to the parents, he's not leaving. I am convinced of it, and he's not going to let the NCAA.
Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street.
He's a fighter.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. Guys, I'll get a break in. We'll get Intern Alex next, but first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue for grab-and-go steaks, or if you can't make it in person, order online, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
with Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome. Precision haircuts for an award-winning and haircut experience. That's right. No expense spared for the 5 best buds. Oh, this is the NCAA tourney trip. All expenses paid for. My apologies. Sweet 2024. It will be here. All expenses paid for. All you got to do, sign up, subscribe, woodwardsports.com, and then figure out the rest later on. Walk in anytime. Haircuts are wicked awesome.
All right, time now. It is, we bring in Intern Alex. Wolverine Wednesdays brought to you by our friends at Skinny Butcher. Alex, sorry about that. We got you on the phone now, I do believe, though. Good afternoon to you, my friend. How you doing, bud?
You know, I'm doing great. The Big Ten Championship game is starting to become my favorite December tradition. Who needs going to the North Pole when you get to go to the magical city of Indianapolis every year?
No doubt about it. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. Talk to me about your experience there and what you saw on the field at Lucas Oil.
You over there big time?
No, I did not. Stop it.
It was great. You know, got the Michigan kind of bring out their B game a little. It wasn't their best game, but that happens against Iowa. You know, they're known for bringing teams down to their level and trying to be with experience. But Michigan was able to weather the storm thanks to a great game from James Turner.
Hey, Intern Alex, what's going on, my guy? Didn't catch you earlier. Let's get into it right away. Here's a quick thing. Obviously, Michigan playing Alabama. People in an uproar about Michigan's response and not wanting to play Alabama. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you, IA, tell the people why Michigan is not only scared. This is actually the matchup that we wanted.
You know, this is not the vintage Alabama team of old. You're not going to see Nick Saban, you know, calling a halfback dive on 3rd and 7 and then getting 10 yards on it. This year, Alabama's offensive line is 8th in the country in sacks allowed with over 40. Michigan will be able to get their D-line going, get pressure on Milroe early, and I do not expect them to be as big a threat as they have been in previous years.
Hey, Alex, talk to me about, you know, we were just discussing that narrative that was going around when you heard the audible gasp in the Michigan watch party when it was announced that Alabama was going to face Michigan instead of Florida State. What did you make of that, and what was your reaction?
You know, I think a lot of it was honestly just Michigan being honestly surprised that Alabama got in over an undefeated Florida State. Like, this is the first time we've ever seen a 13-0 Power 5 conference champion left out of the college football playoff. So I think that was honestly a big part. It was just a shock fact that they're playing Alabama. But a lot of these guys on this team played Alabama in 2019. You know, you guys like St. Rissel, or not a lot, but you guys like St. Rissel and Michael Barrett, who were there in that bowl game, which is way closer than the final score or showed. But that game, Michigan hung around, and they could have beat them easily, and that was a more talented Alabama team. So I don't think the team's as scared as that one clip would make you believe.
Hey, Intern Alex, and you're not an intern anymore, so I'm going to just drop the IA, and I'm going to start calling you Alex. Alex, J.J. McCarthy and the University of Michigan offense, tell me why I should believe that they are built and equipped to come from behind. Haven't necessarily seen them trail a lot and haven't necessarily seen them put up a lot of points as of late. My estimation, they're going to have to score against Alabama. Tell me why I should believe they can come from behind.
Well, we haven't really seen them have to come from behind at all this season, but we've seen them come up in the clutch when needed, you know, right? In the Ohio State game, they went 3 for 3 on 4th down. We were able to convert in the red zone, one of the best teams in the country all year. Right after Zinner went down, Corum rips off that 22-yard touchdown. The team has not had to come from behind much this year, but they have come through in the big drives, especially against Penn State, Ohio State, and Iowa last week. They always scored when they got to the other side of the field, and that's what's important in these games.
Hey, you just brought up another one, Alex. I think this will be the last question from us. You just brought up Zach Zinner going down against Ohio State. I think you saw it rear its ugly head a little bit against Iowa early on. Do you think that's going to be something that they can fix? That's something they can get around? Or do you think that's something that you will continue to see hurt them because Zach Zinner, one of the best linemen in the country, is out?
Yeah, it's certainly something you can scheme around and try to minimize the damage behind it. But realistically, we did lose an All-American level guard in Zach Zinner, who's, 4-year starter, great player. But you'll see Michigan bring out, Max Bretzenmoore as the fullback to help. Probably more the mammoth package where we bring on an extra offensive lineman and a ton of tight ends to help, counteract that injury.
How does this offense get better, Alex? The offense needs to be better, though, to finish this thing out.
We need to see some explosives from the run game this year. That was one of the staples last year. Donovan Edwards' 2 runs against Ohio State were iconic. First play of the Fiesta Bowl, Donovan Edwards just rips off that long run. We really have not seen that much this year from Michigan. So against Alabama, this team needs to figure out a way how to pick up some big chunk plays because they're not going to let you move the ball easily through the air. So we need to figure out a way to let the run game get going, get first downs, and really wear them down that way.
I agree. Absolutely agree.
Just, Alex, I wanted to ask you about the situation just moving forward with Jim Harbaugh. What do you anticipate happens? What's the mood on campus and all the like?
I ultimately think he stays after all of this. I think we're going to see a contract extension come before the college football playoff, especially now that he said in his press conference on Sunday that they take the week off, let the players, rest up, study for finals. So I think this is the week Michigan should really hammer it out, try to get rid of that distraction, put an end to the Jim Harbaugh, the NFL rumors right before signing day for recruiting. So that's what Michigan should do, and I think ultimately will happen.
Intern Alex, thanks so much, buddy. Enjoy a week off. Maybe watch the Army-Navy game or something like that.
Boo,
All right. In this interview,
6
this segment brought to you by our friends at Skinny Butcher. Thanks. Good luck at finals there, Alex. Go get him, buddy.
Thank you. I'll need it. Go Blue.
All right, go Blue. Hey, in our final couple of minutes of the show, I wanted to, Jennifer Hammond, if I may, switch it up and acknowledge the fact that Jim Leland has made it to the Hall of Fame. I know you two are very close. Just your reaction, what it means to you, what it means to him, and your thoughts on that.
You know what I love the most about Jim Leland is that, and I think this was, I posted this, he taught me so much about baseball, but every time he taught me something, he made sure to remind me how little I knew. And it was in the sweetest kind of way. He really, I would like to say he was like a dad to me. He'd probably be offended because he's really not that much older than I am.
He's looked like that since he was 40.
He's got Sparky syndrome, right? It's like we used to say Chris Chelios looked like he was 40 when he was born.
Right.
Yeah,
But so Jim Leland is such a gem, and I love for him that he got that acknowledgement into
So
Cooperstown because he is not only a great skipper, he's a great baseball guy. He takes so much pride in his players and what he's seen them accomplish through his career. And I know there's going to be a whole lot of debate between now and July when he goes in about what cap he should wear.
Can I make a point about that real quick? I found it interesting that the Baseball Hall of Fame official picture had him in a Tigers uniform.
Oh, did they really?
When they tweeted out the announcement, welcome Jim Leland.
He was a Tiger.
He was in
I
all
guess
Tiger
I
stuff.
didn't note that.
So, but he coached or he managed more games
With
for
Pittsburgh.
the Pirates. So,
But he won more
in Detroit.
he won more in Detroit, although he ultimately won the biggest one when he was only 2 years with the Marlins.
Yeah.
So
Right?
it is kind of a strange contradiction, I suppose. But Pittsburgh's his hometown.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an Ohio guy, but I feel he's a Perrysburg. Yeah, right. And did you see the picture of he and his wife Katie? He's laying on the bed with the phone at his ear.
Looks like they haven't updated the bedroom since 1976.
But it looks exactly like how he used to, and you've seen this, how he used to lay on the couch in the manager's office at Comerica Park when we would go in and chat with him.
Great.
And
who's better than that guy?
nobody's better than that
Yeah.
guy. And he used to call me Tallulah Bankhead.
Oh my God.
She was some
Tallulah
kind of.
Bankhead.
She was kind, and I had
That
to
sound
Google
like a rap
her.
name.
Black Widow and Batman.
Okay, she was Black Widow and Batman, but she was some kind of like 30s icon of black and white film.
okay.
But she was an outspoken, kind of brash woman ahead of her.
You talking about the
So
Adam, you
She
talking
was
about
a
the Adam
broad.
West?
She was a broad. But he would call me Tallulah Bankhead. You know, she'd smoke.
Bankhead.
Every picture I Googled, she had a martini and a cigarette in her hand. I don't have the cigarette in my hand, but a martini's probably not a stretch. But so when I sent him the text of congratulations, because I consider myself so lucky that he actually gave me his number once, and I have such a funny voicemail from him that I'll play for you guys privately that he probably wouldn't like me sharing. When I asked him some information about, Brad Ausmus and what was going on with the Tigers, it was good. He teed me up really great. And it's a badge of honor. But anyway, so he used to call me Tallulah Bankhead. But when I sent him a text to congratulate him on his induction into the Hall, I signed it Tallulah Bankhead.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I
And
told
it
the
was-
story yesterday of how he called me MF and C.
What?
Ucker.
What? MF and C. Ucker. That's
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
O.
CS, yeah.
CSer. Like.
okay. Oh.
CO.
Rhymes with lock.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
You guys both work at Fox, so.
I didn't say a naughty word.
Great.
No, you're
Okay.
good.
So great. There's nobody better.
There you
Love
go.
that guy.
Nobody better.
Breaking us out of here. Hammer, thanks. We love you.
Hell of a show.
I'll come
whenever
back
Jennifer
next week.
Hammond-
Miller's fired.
Yeah,
You should have. You, should
You know
have
what?
Ham
I
get us
just
out of
Wally
here.
pipped him.
Hammer, close us out.
Ham,
Say
close the
bye
show.
to the people. Say thank you.
Thank you. Wait. Let's invite them, Braylon, to join us tomorrow at the Lodge in Kego Harbor.
Oh, yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I'm sorry,
Please,
not tomorrow.
please do.
Thank you,
Friday.
Maz. Friday, Maz will be there too, right? You're going to be a bartender. Friday, we're going to be at the Lodge in Kego Harbor.
Killer Koalas.
We're going to be raising money for our children's fund, Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, which is Team Joseph, Defeat the Label, and the Downtown Boxing Gym. And we are going to do it with celebrity bartending, sponsors, donations. All of the money goes to the kids in memory of our great friend Tom Kowalski,
Oh, the
who we
killer.
lost, 12 years now?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Wow.
That's how you close out the show, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is Woodward Sports Network. Ermanni Edwards and Maz and Jennifer Hammond showing that love. My man JB. Peace, bye back. We appreciate you. Maz, we see you hiding over there.
Come say bye, Rye.
We love you guys.
Come
We
on,
will
Riley.
see you tomorrow. Riley, say
Riley,
bye.
come on up here. Come on up here.
I'll go on up there.
Come
Oh,
on
you
up
took it
here.
to the big show.
Here, come on.
Yeah, right? See?
Say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody.
Say hi to the people. What's happening?
Peace out. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.